It's all black. But if we look on the left-hand side here, you might see a slight change in the gray color. There's a green color, there's a dark gray color, and a light gray color. These are all layers of lava that have flown out onto the areas next to the volcano. And one layer has flown here and another has flown to another place, so that some places they're overlapping completely, whereas the youngest one, the light gray one on the side, it is not covering the entire area. It is just flowing out and then stops. And then you see at the edge of the cliff that the lava is flowing into the ocean as well. But in general, these are continuous sequences. The volcano's erupting, we get a layer. The volcano erupts, we get another layer. You see on the right a close-up of the different layers here, that it's a stream of lava, and the surface of the lava cools very quickly, and the lava underneath it will flow further on until it cools, and that's where it is. It stops. You see the grass right next to it. It's not affected. It's growing on the previous layer of lava that formed during the last volcanic eruption. So once again, although that this is not a sedimentary rock, we will have layers. But the layers are not laterally continuous, and they are not uniformly thick. And they follow the low topography in the area, not covering huge basins, but they flow through the valleys and form where it's the lowest, just like water would flow out over the landscape. Here we see the contact between the youngest and the oldest lava streams. The arrows mark where the younger lava has not continued further on. Okay, so some volcanoes are very nice volcanoes, and it's just lava that is flowing out, very easy to live next to. Whereas we have other volcanoes that aren't very nice. They are very explosive volcanoes, and they throw up enormous amounts of pyroclastic debris up into the atmosphere, as you see here. Pyro, meaning fire. Clast is a broken piece. So broken pieces of molten fired rock are being thrown up into the atmosphere, even up to the stratosphere. This material can stay up in the atmosphere and stratosphere for quite some time. It's blown with the winds, and even sometimes all the way around the Earth. And eventually it will fall down to the Earth. So this will also be a layer. But compared to the sedimentary rocks, which were formed in basins, this ash will be formed anywhere on the surface of the Earth, covering mountains, covering pastures, covering houses, a layer that just is a blanket everywhere. And it can be going on slopes, it can be very far down. It's not horizontal. The layers can vary in thickness, depending if you're very close to the volcano that's erupting. You can see on the right-hand side here, layers that are extremely thick. If you compare the height of the trees to the different layers, there's a white layer of ash and then there's a gray layer of ash. These are really thick layers that have blown up and then just settled down, covering the landscape close to the volcano. On the left-hand side, you see a white, thin layer of ash. This could be a long ways. It could be in Sweden, whereas the volcano's in Iceland. And it's deposited as a layer in between two other layers that are already being deposited somewhere. So the thickness of this is dependent on how close it is. So once again, we have layers, but they are not similar to the sedimentary layers in that they are anywhere in the world. And the thickness varies extensively.